Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the North Kesteven series. This is a large Lincolnshire district centred around the town of Sleaford. There's 75 parishes here, so let's take a look at one of them. Welcome back to North Kesteven, everybody. Now behind me here you can see a big mound. That's not a castle mound. I'm sure we're all used to those by now. No, this is a mound of a different sort. You see, behind that mound there's a quarry, and a big one at that. Obviously it's not public access, so I can't film any of it. No worries, that's going to be in today's special section. This quarry can be found to the north of the parish of Stapleford. The North Kesteven series is sponsored by Gainsborough Cycles 01427 617 752. For all your cycling needs, this is your one-stop shop located at 20 Ropery Road, Gainsborough, or online at gainsboroughcycles.com. There's a link in the description. Gainsborough Cycles, ask for Trevor Halstead. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. The last one in North Kesteven's southwestern corner is Stapleford, a small village with a very industrial past, present and future. Located about 6 miles to the north of Newark and sporting a modest population, Stapleford sits in an area that's been quarried for quite some time. Whilst a lot of them have now ceased to function, one very large opening in the land remains out here, Norton Bottoms, which is run by the Breedon Group. Norton Bottoms produces 500,000 tonnes of sand and gravel a year and will soon be producing even more thanks to expansion. Thankfully though, it has no plans to encroach into Stapleford's other major landmark, its woods. During World War II, Stapleford Woods played a vital role in the war effort. Much woodland was cut down at that time, but now thanks to Foresty England, it's once again thriving and is Stapleford's biggest and most well-known tourism spot. The village itself is a small hamlet effectively, and you wouldn't necessarily know there was a church here because it stands in a very unusual position. That said, if you dig a bit deeper, you understand why it's where it is. You see, Stapleford's name indicates it was built around a ford across some water. The water in question is the River Witham, and the church still stands right next to it, whilst the rest of the medieval village has disappeared. So it's a fun one this, very varied, and there's lots to talk about. Let's cut the chatter and let's go. Although publicly inaccessible, there's no denying Stapleford's biggest landmark. This is Norton Bottoms or Stapleford Quarry, which spans a massive area to the north of the village. Whilst a lot of the former sand and gravel pits in the area are no longer in use, like the one that's now Thirlby Lake for example, this one is still very much active. First established in the 1980s, Norton Bottoms has been extended considerably since then, and it produces about 500,000 tonnes of sand and gravel a year. Operated by Breedon Southern, it's estimated that over the next decade, Norton Bottoms will extract some 7 million tonnes of sand and gravel, thanks to another recent extension. Part of the quarry was excavated during an archaeological dig in May 2009. It revealed fragments of mammal bone, shards of Saxon pottery, a piece of fired clay, and some ironstone. These finds were identified as an important grouping because they suggest the quarry sits on or on the periphery of a once Saxon-occupied settlement. Okay, so our start point for the main walk around Stapleford is on Brex Lane, the very far end of Brex Lane. It's a dead end. It does lead to the quarry, but of course you can't go up there if you haven't got any permission. You can see the quarry from here, sort of. Beyond this field, you can see that a bit more of the bank where I was to start with. I was a bit further north where I was at the beginning. But yeah, the quarry is up there. So let's walk around the village then. Not a big place this by any stretch of the imagination. Certainly not the biggest one we've done in North Kesteven. But yeah, hopefully an interesting one. The rain is starting to come down now, so yeah, it might be wet by the end of this, but it's part of the course, isn't it, by now? We begin our walk on Brex Lane, a dead end which runs to the quarry if followed all the way. It's a quiet residential street. So too is the Paddocks, a cul-de-sac off it. These two streets typify what Stapleford mostly is, a peaceful village well out of the way. However, Newark Road is a little different. This is the main thoroughfare and it can get quite busy with traffic. It's here that we hit the parish notice board. Mark off Stapleford, folks. That's 15 down in North Kesteven. It's 20% done. The road then reaches a T-junction and the road joining us here runs to Beckingham and the A17, directly south of the village. Here also we come across a road sign which points us towards a major landmark out to the west, Stapleford Woods. They're coming later. The building on this junction is Stapleford's Old National School. Built in 1867, this closed in 1984 and it's now a private residence. Okay, now Stapleford's church is in a really odd place. It's not in the main village cluster. You have to walk up this footpath here off Beckingham Road and it takes you all the way down to the church. It follows a beck which you can see the line of there alongside the footpath. The church is the only thing left from a former medieval settlement. Earthworks off this track show the position of former buildings. Grade 2 listed, this one originally dates from the 11th century. Dedicated to All Saints, this stands away from the main village cluster. It was rebuilt in 1770 and then fully restored in 1903. The churchyard contains a 14th century cross, which is also Grade 2 listed. Unusually, there are tablets on its outer walls. These are for members of the Tong family, a local name associated with the area. There are many reasons why the modern Stapleford village is now sited so far away from the church, but its original position makes sense. Once again, this was a village founded close to water. Stapleford means ford marked by a post. That ford was over the nearby River Witham. Making our way now between the church and the road, we can use this bridleway to return to the village. This runs through a farmyard. In the yard is the Hall, a mid and late 17th century house with later additions. The farmyard itself is also 17th century. It was once a four-sided courtyard typical of the period. More than half of its original buildings have now gone, replaced with modern sheds. And now we're back to the road. The edge of the quarry where we began is to the right, and in front of us is Hall Paddocks. This weather can't make up its mind. 1 minute it's bright sunshine, the next minute it's starting to shower. So I don't know, does it want to rain or doesn't it? I don't know. I'm not terribly wet, so you know, it can still do what it wants. But it hasn't got long to decide, because we've seen everything to the eastern side of Brex Lane. Now we're going to go to the western side, and this will be literally just a fleeting visit to the west, because there's not much out there. It's generally speaking residential, and then we'll go back to the car and finish off by driving through the woods. The western side of the village is simply just a scattered collection of houses lining the main road, save for one area at the very end. The area in question is a little semicircle of land surrounded by a track and a field entrance with a house overlooking it. From the field entrance you get the best view yet towards the quarry's banks. This gives you an idea of just how big it is. The semicircular bit of land is a little nature reserve. Named Project Stapleford, this was created in 2012 at the request of the locals. It was formerly an overgrown coppice, left untouched for more than 30 years. It was restored using a grant from the National Lottery. There's a bench under one of the trees which bears a plaque telling us about a petition to save Stapleford Woods in the early 1990s. And of course that petition was successful because Stapleford Woods still stand to this day. Let's go and finish this episode off by going up to the woods and seeing what they're all about. Stapleford Woods are a major local landmark with a wartime past. An ancient woodland once owned by Trinity College, Cambridge, it covers some 750 acres. During World War I, it was clear felled to supply local industry. Left unplanted between the wars, the grounds were used as a British Army camp and training grounds during World War II. After hostilities ceased in 1945, the woods were bought by the Forestry Commission, who extensively replanted them in the 1950s with Scots and Corsican pine. Now a managed working forest, surveys in 2004 found that the wood dated back at least 400 years. Many visitors are attracted to these by the carpet of rhododendrons which are found throughout the wood at heights of up to 7 metres. The woods were also the main backdrop for the 2009 documentary film The Real Badlands, which told the story of a Newark couple who quit their jobs, sold all of their possessions and moved into the woods. The film was shot both in the woods here and in Kelham in 2008. So you can see from this map here in Stapleford Wood just how big these are. Here we go, look at this. Here's the car park. Tiny speck when you consider just how much woodland there actually is. And all of this falls within Stapleford's parish boundaries. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the boundary runs down this side so as to encapsulate all of it. There's a bit of history about them here. There you go. Feel free to pause the video and read that at your leisure. But what a beautiful scenic spot this is. Big car park, seemingly popular because there's plenty of people in here this morning. There's me with another car over there, and there's a few over here too. And I suppose with a woodland this big, it's a nice place to just have a wander and walk your dog and do whatever else you do in a woodland, I suppose. What else do you do in a woodland apart from walk your dog and have some exercise? Who knows? Perfect. Lovely. And it's peaceful too. It's so quiet. You can't hear a thing. You can hear a pin drop in this car park right now. So beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, that's been the parish of Stapleford, and I do hope you've enjoyed it. With Stapleford now visited, we're now done with the southwestern corner of North Kesteven completely. There are a few more to come though in the Witham Valley further north. Next week we'll be heading across to the east as we start to look at some on the opposite side of the district. I'll see you there everyone, bye for now. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.